January 24th, 2010. This video is going to be an answer to a few more letters that have come in about Kundalini rising and Kundalini Kriyas. I want to start off by saying that I'm really not qualified to answer questions about what Kundalini is, what Kundalini rising is, how does a person know if Kundalini is rising, things along this line. But I can relate to you my own experiences of the sensation of rising in the Kundalini experience that I'm having. And so there's three ways that come to my mind immediately that I can relate to you about the sensation of the Kundalini energies rising. The first one is when I first began to be aware of what was happening with me, when I first began to be aware of electrical currents flowing through my physical body system, the cleansing work, well, let me say it this way. What would happen is I would get an electrical pulse wave that pulsed through my physical body. When the pulse wave had pulsed all the way through, there would be a lingering energetic phenomena that I would feel in a particular part of my body before the next pulse wave began. And that started out to be in my feet. And so this started for me last year. And I've moved now from my feet and all the way up into the upper thighs toward the hips. So the energy is rising from my feet up the legs, doing what is probably clearing work, clearing and balancing work. Now, simultaneously to this, I also feel a second energy phenomena that's happening along the passage of the spine from root to crown. And so when the energy first was doing its clearing and balancing in the feet, it was also co-simultaneously in the root chakra at the perineum. When the work came up into my ankles, we moved up into Svadhisthana, the second chakra, up into the calves, Manipura, the power chakra, third chakra, and so on. And so I'm experiencing two individual distinct upward energetic movements, one from below my feet extending up my legs toward my hips, and the other starting at the root chakra or perineum and extending up my spine toward the crown. Is this Kundalini rising? Is this evidence of that? I don't know. Honestly, it's just an upward feeling sensation or movement I experience within the electrical currents that I feel. Okay, so that's one. The second one, and this is a little harder to describe, but to attempt it, I'll bring us back into the second energy flow that I've been feeling from the base of my spine toward the crown of my spine. It's like my awareness comes into the center of this column or tube, and I experience the totality of myself as this column or tube, and I feel a very strong, very wonderful, ecstatic, blissful, upward wave, upward whoosh, like a fountain, is coming to mind right now. And sometimes this upward wave will have the texture of wind. Sometimes it will have the texture of a heatless heat. And sometimes it will have the texture of water. The third upward feelingness that I experience is in the sound, the inner sound that I am constantly hearing, constantly aware of, constantly experiencing and feeling through the totality of my physical body. And the sound simply raises in pitch, raises in frequency. And when this happens, I get physical, energetic and physical experiences through my whole physical body system. So these are the three ways that I experience the rising phenomena. I'm not sure what I'm about to mention has anything to do with Kundalini or Kundalini rising directly, but I am receiving the prompt to put it through, and so the newest thing for me that has begun with the sound, the inner sound, this past week is that all of a sudden, on one side, either side, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it, but on one side of me, it will go absolutely quiet, no sound, nothing, just on one side. And a high, sparkly line of sound, a high tone will be shot through. And I'm not going to go into describing what happens with me when this happens. I'm just going to put this through. And I'm going to ask, are any of you getting anything like this too? Beginning this past week or even in the past? If any of you have ever had out-of-body experiences or have soul traveled, astral projected, any of this, and have at any point during your experience dropped into the void, no sights, no sounds, all of a sudden everything just stops. It's just like this, except for I'm wide awake in my physical 3D reality, and it will generally happen on one side or the other while the high tone is shot through. If you're experiencing anything like this, and you don't mind saying, please let me know. And if you know what it is, even better. I'm very curious about what this is.